Hi, everyone. On behalf of the committee, I'd like to thank Image Reborn for being our community partner this month. We're thrilled that our program for the second month in a row will be led by a Temple member. Image Reborn was founded by Dr. Renato Saltz, and Bobby Lord, its executive director, will now introduce him.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vicki and Harriet and Marcy. It's been amazing. I'm so excited to be able to work with you guys and Temple Har Shalom. I actually have only been the executive director here for just barely over a month. So I'm new at this. So thank you for letting me practice on you guys. I'm going to actually just let Dr. Salt start. He can kind of tell you a little bit about why he started it. And then I'll kind of go from there. So Dr. Salt.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having us. Sorry, I was on a Google Meet link waiting, so I'm glad Harriet shared this link with us. I have a couple of, we don't have a lot of time, so I thought we'll be very objective here. I have a couple of videos that tell pretty much the story of Image Reborn. We started back in 1998, and we have been growing every year. And I think after the videos, we can have Bobby can expand on some of the retreats we're having right now, and how we can work together with Temple Har Shalom and its members. Years ago, I gave a presentation at the temple about Image Reborn. It was very successful. We had several volunteers helping us at the time. We actually were able to let more breast cancer survivors know about the foundation, and they benefit from the retreat. So with your permission, I'm gonna share my screen, and let's see, how do I do this? I'll share this, and I'll play this. Can you see my screen?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna move. So this is really what the foundation is about. Our most important mission is to really provide a 3-day no-cost retreats to breast cancer survivors. And they come together in some of the beautiful homes that are donated to the foundation. And they each tell their stories, their lives, they share their fears, and we feel that when they leave these retreats, and there have been thousands and thousands of survivors have attended the retreats, they learn new ways, new tools to cope with the disease. So next I have let me go back a little bit. I have a video. People ask me why you started that. So let me play this video, and then we actually have a video where the videographer went inside a retreat and spent time at the retreat, so you can actually experience what the retreats are about. This whole concept of the Image Reborn Foundation started in 1998, and I started with a nurse that I used to work with, and there was a need. We thought there was a need for breast cancer survivors to get together, share their stories, share their issues, because when you develop breast cancer, you go through this very fast pace of diagnosis, surgery, radiation, chemotherapy, and there's no time for anything. And these women, they go through all this, and then the doctors tell them, you're cured, you're done. And as a plastic and reconstructive surgeon, you see them sometimes during this process or sometimes after, and they are sad. Very often their families are under major stress. If they have children, which we don't know what's going on. They lost a big part of their body in their sexuality, which is their breast. So it is different than many other cancers. So we thought by bringing them together in a nice environment with volunteers
others, they would have the opportunity to share their stories, share their frustrations, share their surgeries, their complications, and maybe heal their souls.
In a beautiful lodge up above Park City, you hear the rustle of aspen leaves and laughter. 8 women who've all been through various treatments and surgeries for breast cancer are getting to know each other and getting to know themselves.
A lot of people sort of overlook breast cancer as a good cancer, when in reality, it's life-changing.
On this weekend, a physical therapist led the ladies through breathing techniques.
Every muscle should have a resting length.
Many of the doctors, therapists, and drivers donate their time to help the women focus on different aspects of healing. Others work with Image Reborn to make sure they're all taken care of.
What I do as a facilitator, I ensure that the weekend goes smoothly and that the women adhere to something we call the golden rule, in that the women are not to lift a finger. We serve gourmet meals, we have massages, facials, meditation, restorative yoga.
And for these women, trying new things with an open mind, gentle guidance, and instant friends makes healing easy.
I didn't realize that I needed to be here, but it didn't take long to realize that this is exactly what I needed. I think that I haven't realized how much I've carried inside.
Yes, it's pampering women who've been through hell with facials, bonding, and massages. But every woman said one thing that makes the less than 48-hour retreat even more cathartic is knowing all of this love and all of these services were made possible because of Image Reborn. And it sinks in that people really care.
I'm a 2-time breast cancer survivor, and this is just an incredible experience, having someone believe in us and recognize that we need to heal. Being with women that we can connect with is just, there's nothing that compares to it.
It needed to be more than just kind of plugging through all of the stages of cancer. What I really need now, and what I realized I needed just a few months ago, was a chance to renew, rejuvenate, soak in, and be able to really complete that part of the healing process.
There's a lot of, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of benefits of support. There's actually good science behind it. And what we learn over the years is that these retreats have allowed women to share practical information. Also, they discuss their experience with breast cancer, with breast reconstruction, prosthesis, chemotherapy, radiation, and many other medical issues that are part of this complex disease. They share many tips about hormonal changes and how they can manage their scars and results of other surgery. We have, over the years, we learned that not all groups are the same. So we have created different groups to attend different needs. For example, we have Hispanic retreats. We have young survivor retreats. We have stage 4 retreats, which are women that are facing, end of life. We have adventure retreats in southern Utah. We have many groups that participate. We have massage therapies, skin therapies. The Park City firemen usually host some of our retreats and entertain the survivors. The chefs you saw in the video, several chefs over the years have volunteered and prepare dinners. They're very healthy. They give the women tips, about healthy food. So it's really beyond breast cancer itself. It's education, all aspects of medicine and health and mental psychotherapy. and there's a lot of data. It's very interesting when you start studying this. There's a lot of data, and now it's coming more and more about how important support groups are for the psychosocial changes in women who had attended retreats. There's a significant decrease in anxiety, stress. Also increases the ability to feel joy and improvement in body image and general well-being. So, and we notice over the years, especially because many of the survivors become volunteers to the foundation, they come back and they are transformed. They are, and that's where the name came. You know, they are reborn in a way because they learn to cope with their depression, their anxiety, their stress, and the emotional attitudes changes. It becomes a very positive mental attitude, in the vast majority of this individuals. So it goes. My impression in this 24 years, it really goes beyond the survivor. You know, it has a significant impact in their families, close friends, and hopefully stays with them for the rest of their lives. And when you look at some of the testimonials, it's very interesting because they go from just uh, being happy with other women that they're dealing with this disease, but also the concept of networking. It's fascinating, and most of you are women on the Zoom. How quick! I always impress me how quick women, establish their networks and how quick they become best friends. If I'm in town, I usually go on Sunday morning to answer questions about medical issues, about surgery, about chemotherapy, and other radiation. And by Sunday morning, these are like best friends. They are showing their breasts to each other. It always fascinates me how women connect so fast. We tried back in the late 90s. We tried, I don't know if it was 1999. I wanted to try to bring the spouses, the husbands, and have a combined retreat because I really think is more than just the women. But it failed miserably because the men just stay in one room and they would never connect. They will never interact. So we decided to stay with women, and it is true. They all arrive as strangers and they left as best friends. And you hear that from every single one, that the weekend changed their lives, and they become really more in control of their lives, and not just running from clinic to doctor to doctor, dealing with their breast cancer. So I think I share enough about the mission. I share enough about the vision. And if you have any questions, maybe we'll let Bobby talk a little bit about her impression since she just joined us. And also, Bobby, maybe you can share with the group, our retreats and what our plans for 2022.
Yes, I would be happy to. Thank you so much. Like I mentioned, I think most of you around here, I'm just barely here. I've been here just over a month. And the last month, it's been amazing. I am so honored to be a part of this. The passion and dedication that the staff, the board members, the volunteers, those facilitators they have for these women is just inspiring. So I'm so grateful to be here. And like Dr. Saltz mentioned, we've been here for 24 years. We've served thousands, and I'm so excited to be a part of being able to serve thousands and thousands more. Like he mentioned, as I've been kind of learning about all of these new things, the big thing that sticks out to me is that we are providing them a community of support. All of us through COVID, we've realized that loneliness and isolation can be really, really hard. And a lot of these women going through breast cancer and some of these diagnoses, they feel that is because they feel like they are going through things alone. And so providing them that community, both with other people who have had similar experiences, similar emotions, feelings, as well as providers and medical professionals, that all comes together in a single weekend. And I just think that is amazing. It's all right there on their fingertips. And like he mentioned, that support of these other women, I know some of my best friends, some of the women in my life have gotten me through some of the hardest moments of my life. And having that connection, that network, I think is really, really important. So I'm just thrilled to be a part of this. So this year, we currently have 15 retreats on the books. I'm hoping we can add more. We're kind of weighing out some COVID, like some of the fears with COVID and restrictions. So I'm hoping towards the end of the year, we can start to add more, because at least half of those right now are fully booked. So, and most of them have a little bit of a wait list. So I'm hoping we can add more. So we do have 15 in-person retreats. 11 will be here in Utah, and then 3 will be in Colorado. One of those, like Dr. Salt showed, is an adventure retreat that will be down in southern Utah. So that one's really exciting. It just gives them a little different experience. And these women they've already done the renewal retreat. So it's kind of just a second chance for them to come back and bond in a fun, adventurous environment. So we will have 10 at the moment in kind of the Park City area. We try to always have them within like an hour of the Salt Lake City airport, and Park City has been an amazing supporter of ours, and we just love bringing those women to that area. Our first 2 will be, so we have one at the end of February and one at the end of March, and they will actually be in Midway. So we have a house that was provided at a great cost in Midway. We've had a little bit harder time getting houses. We often get them donated or like discounted, but because of COVID, more people are going skiing, things like that, it's been harder to get any of those homes donated or provided for us. So we did find one at Midway. And so our first 2 will be at Midway. We're still looking at other options, other houses throughout the year. Like I said, we have 9 other retreats that we need. We are still looking for accommodations. Over these retreats, we're expecting to have about 120 women come. Each retreat can host between 6 to 8, depending on the size of the house that we're staying in. We want it to be a smaller group because it is so personal. They get to know these women. And so being able to connect with them on a smaller group level, it's a better experience for them. And the other thing I wanted to make sure you guys all understood, that these are completely free to these women. So they come the whole weekend, the amazing food, all of the providers, that is all provided by Image Reborn, which is provided through the community. We have some amazing supporters that help us, and we have a gala, we have some fundraising events, but it is all supported. They are all free because of the community support, such as people and organizations like yours. So this is an amazing chance to really make a difference in the lives of women. About basically 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer within their lifetime. And so that we all know somebody, we all have a friend, we all have a neighbor, we have a family member that has gone through this or will go through this. And this is where we can help them. This is where we can support them and let them know that we're there. We hear them, we see them. And that's what Image Reborn's about. And I'm just so proud and honored to be a part of this amazing organization. So any questions? Well, what else would you guys like to know about us?
Can you tell me how does it work out when somebody makes a house available to you? How do you work those arrangements? I mean, there are a lot of people in the synagogue who are here only part-time during the year, and they have wonderful houses, but at the same time, they're going to be very concerned about protecting their property and so forth. What's the experience? Maybe you haven't been there long enough to be able to describe it. I'm sure that the doctor has some information about that.
Yes. So what we do is we kind of take a look or see pictures, make sure it accommodates a certain retreat. We work with the owner based on their availability. We pay cleaning people to come in and take care of it. We have insurance that provides anything happens, anything, we'll take care of it. And I have to tell you, Mr. Becker. I have to tell you, in all these 24 years, we haven't had a problem. We had one retreat, I have to say, one retreat, and was in the colony, and it happened to be an LDS family that gave us the women on Saturday night had some wild party with alcohol. So we found a couple of that was, I had to intervene on that one. But the family was totally fine. We just, and that was the last retreat we allowed alcohol. But that was one case, and it was kind of funny because I know the family well, and they were actually making fun of us. But no, we never had any problems. The facilitators, every retreat has a facilitators, and they are very experienced in running the retreats. And you know, it's amazing because some of the retreats are held in homes that are just magnificent. And some of these women, they come from everywhere, from all different kinds of you know, life status, and some are we had a retreat with some women, and they actually said, you know, I come and clean this house, and now I'm here as
Oh
as
my
a guest.
goodness.
And
Wow.
that's a true story. It was a Hispanic retreat, and they voiced that, and I always remember, it gives me bumps because
Hmm.
um she was say, you know, I never imagined, now I'm being treated here as a guest and everything. And then she connected with the family. It was a really good thing. But it's all different experiences, brings them together, and no, we never had a problem. No.
No, but I'm just thinking in terms of, I think it would be very easy for us to distribute information to the congregation with specific requirements. I assume that the houses have to have 6 bedrooms or 8 bedrooms or something like that. I mean, you need a separate bedroom for each participant in the program. And you know, that kind of a thing. That I think it would be, do you have a sheet or something, you know, a one sheet that outlines what it is that you need? I think that would be very helpful for us to have something like that. And then we could, I'm sure Deb could distribute something like that in our e-news. We can make announcements about it and so forth.
We can definitely,
We can get that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then it is on our
We'll make
website as
sure
well.
that, yeah, we distribute it.
Can you tell us a little more about how how these women come to your programs and from where? You know, how wide is the geographic reach? And I mean, how much of an effort do you make to sort of publicize this, I guess, with oncologists around the city and, stuff like that?
We tried all different ways to let women know. And honestly, I was very disappointed with my colleagues because, they're all busy, and we left a lot of materials over the years in the waiting rooms, at Huntsman, at university, places where I worked for a long time. And today, what really brings them in is their communication, their networks. It's amazing how breast cancer survivors are connected to each other, and it's really through the volunteers and through their social media. Used to be their email, their groups. We have had women coming from Europe. We have had women coming from South America, Central America, women from the 50 states. We had women from everywhere, to the point that we created a scholarship, because a lot of women wanted to come, but they couldn't afford traveling. So one of our actually a friend of my colleague of mine, plastic surgeon, very well known plastic surgeon from Brazil, his wife, very young wife, died of breast cancer, and he established a scholarship in her name. And so we created that just to help survivors fly in. So once a retreat, I don't know what's happening now with COVID, but before COVID, every retreat we would pay for one one of the participants to fly in. And they'll work very well, and they learn about this woman, and the scholarship had her name, and was a great way to honor her. But yeah, we never say no. We always figure a way to bring them in.
I see that Bobby has sent me the link to the accommodations. That's very helpful.
It should
Thank you.
have a lot of info, but you can always reach out to us, and I can work
Sure.
with and get something for you guys.
It's a tickler enough to get people to see whether there's anybody interested. It's well done.
Great presentation. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. This is absolutely wonderful to.
Wonderful.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for the opportunity.
Yep, thank you.
All right.
Thank
Bye.
you
Bye.
so
Thank you
much.
so much.